Hopefully we have good connection this time.
Hopefully.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is time for Finance Friday. I am Amy Novakovich. This is Jim of Nova Wealth Management. Follow us on Twitter at Nova Wealth Management, MGMT. Check out our podcast, The Nova Wealth Show, which the audio version is on iTunes, and we actually have the video version on the Wooditch Network. Hey Joan, hey RT, hey guys.
Hey everybody.
Like us on Facebook and actually share this video. We need to get this word out and try to educate as many people as we can. If you like the video, go ahead and share it. We'd love that. And I just want to revisit something real quick. I think most of you know our background and why we started this business, but for those of you that don't, I just very briefly just want to say why we started Nova in the first place was to manage everybody individually and take advantage of what goes on in the market and try to make everybody be to their best financial potential. And one of the harder parts of our job in doing that is trying to gauge, what somebody thinks they want. So when somebody says, oh, I can handle risk, or I can't handle risk, I'm too conservative. Part of our job is deciphering what you actually mean. And sometimes you don't know what you mean. That's a weird feeling to have when you think you know what you want until you don't want it anymore. Until you experience it and then you don't want it.
Yeah, I think that's super common. People think they can handle it, but they can't. Although our phone didn't ring once today.
It did not this week. I mean, we've been proactively reaching out to clients.
We called everybody on Monday.
Yeah, and some on Friday. So the thing about today is we're going to talk about how do you truly assess your risk? How do you know what risk you can handle? How do you push it to the furthest risk that you can take to your fullest potential without sacrifice, without feeling uncomfortable? So that's what we're talking about today, is how do you assess risk?
Actually, we have a great risk assessment on the website.
We do, actually. Right on our homepage of our website, novawealthmanagement.com. Great job.
Yeah.
If you scroll down to the bottom,
it's
just
free.
For fun, it is free. Just for fun, you can scroll down to the bottom. What? RT is going nuts here. How old are you? Poor Bethany is out of a job. What? I'm so confused. Do you know what he means?
No.
Okay, you'll have to elaborate on that, RT. So if you go to our website, scroll down on the front page, there's what they call the Riskalyze, and it's a survey. And just for fun, Ed, if you're still watching, I'd love to see what you get, what your number is, because I don't think you've done that risk assessment. But if you just take the risk assessment, it will give you a number from 0 to 100. Yes?
From
0 to 100. And it will give you a number, and not only that, but it will give you, if you put in a dollar amount, like how much you want to invest. The phone didn't ring. Oh, I get it now. You said the phone didn't ring all week. So he's like, uh-oh, Bethany is out of a job. No.
Oh, no. When I say the phone didn't ring, no one called panicking because of the market.
Right.
That's what I meant.
You should probably specify that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So the risk assessment will do two things. It will give you a number on a scale of 0 to 100, but it will also give you numbers. So if you put in a dollar value, let's say you put in, I have $100,000, whatever. It'll tell you what your risk number means. So it'll say, okay, your risk number of 70 means that you're okay in the next 6 months of having the potential to gain, and I'm making this up, but this is an example, $12,000 and the potential to lose $7,000. And it'll put numbers to it, so it kind of makes you think differently. Because one of the things that we do find is that people are okay with risk until the market goes down, and then they can't handle it like they think they can handle it. When are we having cake? Oh my gosh, yes. Today is Jim's birthday. I should announce that. Thank you.
So let me share this. So I had the twins. For those of you who don't know, I have twin 12-year-olds who spend half the time with us, half the time with their mom. So we had the twins here this morning. And then the 3-year-old, and of course the baby, or the 19-month-old.
That's 4.
So all morning, I didn't say anything. I wanted to see if anyone
said anything about Jim's birthday.
So Amy completely forgets.
I didn't forget. I didn't know it was the 9th. This week has been nuts, and I haven't even known what date it was.
I was hoping. If it wasn't for Tamara and Beth, I think I could have got through all day.
So we get to the office this morning, and out of nowhere, Tamara
says,
Happy birthday, Jim.
And I'm like, oh no, I wish she didn't say that because then.
Hey, Johnny. Today's Jim's birthday.
So then Amy.
So we're telling the background story that I didn't remember until somebody here said happy birthday.
I know. It would have been really nice to be able to hold that over your head all year if I could have.
I'm pretty sure you did the same thing on my birthday. You didn't remember until we got here.
No, that's not true. I made you breakfast. We sang happy birthday to you in the kitchen.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, it was very important, obviously, for you if you don't remember.
So happy birthday to Jim. We can sing happy birthday to Jim. See, now I'm fidgeting. I'm like all like nervous.
Anyway. Let's talk a little bit about the
risk.
market. Well, the risk, yeah. Do the risk assessment. It's free.
Do the risk assessment on our
right
website,
on the website.
nowealthmanagement.com. You have to scroll down. It's down at the bottom. But just do it just for fun. You'll get your risk number, and it'll tell you again in dollar value what it means. Like if you put in $100,000, it'll tell you your risk number means that you're okay with going down $10,000 and you're going up $15,000 or whatever. Hey, Tamara, you just missed the story where I said you're the one that reminded me of
Yeah, Tamara, you
Jim's
ruined
birthday.
it. I could have held it over her head all year if you didn't say happy birthday.
Me a break. And then I went to the chiropractor this morning and told him that, and he's like, you should have just said, I know, I wanted to surprise you. I have all this stuff here. And I'm like,
what do you have?
Well, I don't. I have a card at home.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
You can bring it out now. You have it here?
Happy birthday.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So, back to risk. So, how do you know what kind of risk you can handle without going through something like this, something traumatic like this, and being like, oh, wow, I can't handle this? So, one of the ways that I call it the sleep factor, what makes you sleep at night. So, if you felt like that, if you have $100,000 and I say to you, would you lose sleep? Would you seriously be affected if I handed you this piece of paper right now and said you're down to 90? Would that affect you? So I try to put numbers to it. It's easy to say, oh, well, if the market goes up and the market goes down, what can you handle, or percentage-wise? But when you put dollars on it, if you write it down and say, if I gave you this statement right now and it said 90,000, not 100, how would you feel? Let's try to gauge that. Try to and understand too. The second piece of risk, the first piece is the fluctuation. How much fluctuation can you handle? And that's how you get it out of somebody, by using dollar values. But the second piece is, what are you invested in? You know, because you hear all the time, if you're diversified, you're fine, or just hold it and you'll be okay, and you're in a diversified portfolio and we rebalance and all this stuff. But I will say, if you are in individual companies, individual stocks versus funds versus like portfolios with thousands of positions in them, you're clearly better off. It's really just a fluctuation.
You're better off with what?
With the funds.
Oh, I can't. I disagree. That's what's so funny. I thought that's where you were going. I was waiting for you to finally get there, and after about 4 or 5 minutes, you finally got there.
Wait. You think it's better to own a bunch of individual
I'm way more
companies?
Comfortable with the stocks that I buy.
Because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But the person out there that's watching this, you should not, and none of this is recommendations, by the way. This is a discussion. This is general information. But the lay person out there that doesn't know how to stock pick and doesn't have software is not better off owning individual stock versus thousands of positions in a portfolio.
I don't know. I think you could argue there's some people out there that just own like the big stocks like Home Depot and Bank of America and Johnson & Johnson, and they're comfortable with those stocks, whereas the market gets hammered today and the indexes are going to go down no matter what. Market ended up coming back, but the market going down 1,000 points twice this week, the stocks I feel fine about. I'm not worried about the individual positions. It's those indexes that have me a little nervous because I think the market's going to continue to push lower. I don't care where it finished today. We were down 1,000 points
like
twice this week, in 1 week.
Well, and we were down 400 points, 500
No,
points
listen
at
to
one
this.
time today.
Listen to this. So,
I still think you're wrong.
yesterday, we were down 1,000 points.
Just like Jim said. I got to see the comment above.
I didn't see the comment.
I didn't either.
What did it say?
If you're living off dividends, it doesn't matter what the market does. Remember, if we were on an island with a mailbox and no TV, most checks would still arrive.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
But that's true of the indexes as well, I suppose.
It's more true of the indexes because if one stock just cuts their dividend, you're not going to feel it as much in an index or a fund or a portfolio as much as you would on the individual stocks.
In the long term, I think both scenarios are fine. It's just, can people stomach down 1,000 points twice in 1 week, and then if it happens again next week, people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
So that's my feeling is, if you're going to sell, I'd rather sell an index and just move some money to the sideline for a little while until things settle down.
And buy individual stock.
I wouldn't buy. I have a hard time buying anything with this volatility right now.
Anybody has a hard time buying, but you make money when you buy when everybody's uncomfortable.
Yeah, what we did today was we did a lot of put buying.
Yep. When the market was up.
Yeah, when the market was up 200, we were buying puts.
Yeah.
Then the market crashed.
We're getting off the topic of risk, but yeah.
You beat the shit out of the risk discussion. Where are we with the risk?
Vulgarity. We're going to have to bleep that out again.
No, we don't have to bleep it out. Who cares?
Who's offended?
Yeah, no one's offended. We don't have anybody under the age of 12 watching this.
You don't know that. They could be watching that with their kids in the background.
Nobody under the age of 12.
Okay, if you're just joining, we're talking about risk, and we're talking about how do you assess your risk.
You're from Wisconsin. You have the biggest potty mouth maybe of anybody I know.
I do.
You do. I can't think of one person that has a worse mouth than you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
you clearly I can control it and you can't. Oh my gosh! So far we've talked about birthdays and vulgarity with swearing, and we're getting back to risk.
I want to talk about volatility though. So let's talk. Because I wrote out what the market did today and the craziness.
Okay.
So yesterday we were down 1,000 points.
Yes.
We opened up.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, the Dow opened at 23. Excuse that.
I forgot to put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay.
So at 9:46, the market was up about 200 points.
This morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
So about 15 minutes after market's open, we're up 200 points.
Yes.
By 1:38, the market went the other way by 800 points.
Right.
We were at 23,
down 500
388.
Yes.
23,388 by 20 to 2.
Right.
And then by 3:32, it was a 650 point swing the other way. And then we finished the day up like 300 or 400 points.
Right.
300 points.
And what's your point?
The volatility is insane.
The volatility is insane. So the question is, can you handle it? I mean, do you see? When we're reaching out to clients, we're calling clients all week, right? I had some clients that literally did not even know this was happening. It's up over 330 plus. Well, it closed up. It's already closed, but it closed up over 400, I think.
No, I don't think so. I think it was 3.
It changed in the last 2 minutes when I was getting this ready. But I think the question is, can you handle it? Do you have to have risk? Because there's also the situation where you do feel like you're getting close to retirement. If you're getting close to retirement and you're short of what you need to be to retire, there's that feeling sometimes that you need to take risk because you have to get to your number. So then the question is, what do you do about risk to mitigate it? What do you do if you're nearing retirement and you're going through this week, which before the market turned around today was heading towards the worst week since 2008? That's how close we were today to hitting the worst week.
Well, it still may have been that.
Intraday, but not where it closed.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
For sure?
When we were down 500 points, they said it's the worst week for sure since 2009, and we were headed towards the worst week since 2008. So I don't know what number it needed to hit, but it was the worst week intraday since 2009. This was a big week. So if you have to take risk because you're getting towards retirement and you feel like you need to get towards your number, how do you then mitigate the risk? How do you mitigate the volatility? And that's actually probably, you need to watch our I don't want to call it a Finance Friday because it was yesterday, but our live, there you go, from yesterday, because we went over some specific strategies that we're doing, and we did it actually last Friday too when the market was down 666 points, and we gave some strategies on what we would do to mitigate volatility. But, so if you feel like you have to take risk, then you've got to do something to either take advantage in this volatility or iron out the volatility. You've got to do one or two things. I mean, I guess you can just write it out too. So Ed was saying in one of his comments that you can just write it out, especially if you're just collecting dividends. And that's a strategy for sure. I just don't know that that's getting people to your fullest potential. But if you don't have an advisor or you don't know what you're doing, I suppose, yes, you could just sit back and collect dividends, and you would be fine. If you're on an island and you didn't get a statement.
If you're on an island with a mailbox, with no phone.
With a mailbox, you
no
would get
TV.
your checks. You would get your checks. But how do you assess risk? So we already mentioned on our page you can take a risk assessment. That's bothering me. I had a voicemail and it kept popping up. So we have a risk assessment on our page, novawealthmanagement.com. You scroll all the way down to the bottom. It's a fun risk assessment. It'll give you a number from 1 to 100. It'll also give you a dollar value with a 95% chance probability, a 95% probability that your dollar value will either increase or decrease in the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. And so that's exciting because it gives you numbers. So that's
it gives you a great report.
Yes, it does give you a really good report. What did Joan say? You're making this so understandable. Oh, good. That's good because I feel like we talk in circles sometimes, but I'm just trying to review.
You do.
Well, I try to review and reiterate things because I might say it a second time in a different way and it clicks to somebody else.
Yeah. Sure. Hey, for those of you who just got on, Amy forgot today was my birthday.
Oh my
Just
Lord.
making sure everyone knows that because we got new people on the line.
We do have new people.
So today's my birthday, and she completely
Happy
forgot.
birthday, honey. Do you want me to sing to
the
you?
The kids, no. But the kids don't even know it's my birthday today.
We're going to have a cake tonight.
No, I'm
You're
sure.
making me sound... We have 4 kids, so we wake up in the morning and just life just gets going. And then we run a business and the market has been down. Worst week since 2009.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Honey, I'm so sorry. I feel bad enough.
fine.
Everybody, would you
It's just my
send
birthday.
Jim a little message?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Most of them have,
birthday.
actually.
Everybody's
Most
messaged you, but
yeah, I mean, they didn't forget. Most people that...
Happy
Most
birthday.
some people messaged me at like 4 a.m.
Okay, so the other way that you can assess risk, how do you know what risk you can handle, is if you just go through history. So the last time, I have some clients that don't even know that January of 2016 was the worst start to a year ever. If you didn't know that even happened, chances are you can handle risk. So the other way that you can assess risk is go back in history. Think of how you felt in January of 2016. Did you find out towards the end of it? Did you find out when it turned around? See how you felt during that time because that can help assess how you feel now and how
I know. Okay, yeah. Sure, but my issue is 2016, January of 2016, the market goes down 12%. It took
5 weeks.
Yeah, it took all year to dig out of that until the election, and then the market shut.
I thought we determined that it only took a few months. You thought that it took the whole year, and we pulled it up, and it only took a few months to get it back where it was.
It was April.
And then it did
came
stay
back to where it
pretty
was,
stagnant
but yeah,
for the rest of the year.
The market was flat until the election.
Yes.
So I guess Amy and I kind of go back and forth on, and it's great. I'm glad you had your position today because as of right now, it looks like you made the right call.
As of right now. I mean, we don't know where it goes on Monday. But
no,
we
the
had
volatility
an extensive
is not
conversation this morning. So for those of you, again, that don't know the background of our firm, we manage everybody individually. So literally this morning, we started going through every client's account, every person's account, and saying, should we buy a put? Should we buy in the market? Should we sell some cash? For each individual client, we started going through to see because the market really started accelerating to go down. And we went through every individual account. And when you're trying to guess at what a client's risk is, you have to take into account, are they taking income? What's their time frame? What do they know about the market? What do they know about investing in general? Do they fully, completely trust us, or do they have an opinion? Do they have background experiences? All this goes into account when we're looking at the accounts. And this morning we started debating on clients because I was saying some clients just need a put. We don't want to sell and bring some to cash. We need a put and we're going to buy.
Yeah.
We're going to buy at the same time, knowing that we buy on a down day.
Wait, did you say that was your idea?
I said I wanted to buy was my idea.
You wanted
I've been
to buy.
wanting to buy.
Right.
Hi, Lena.
I think it was my idea to buy the put and then buy as well.
Okay.
Would you agree?
That you wanted to buy a put and buy.
Yeah.
The only reason why you said that you wanted to buy is because I said I wanted to buy.
Yeah, because I think there's more I think it's very evident.
Okay,
that
but here was my argument, and hear me out. Hear me out. This is what my ultimate last final statement was. You don't know where the market is going. We don't know if it's going lower, right? But if you just sell and go to cash, you're just kind of doing what the normal person does, which is sell when everything feels bad and try to guess when you buy back in. That's what a normal person would do.
I know, but
we're
not guessing.
But just listen, let me finish my thought. So my argument is if you buy when the market is down 10, 11, 12%, we are having this specific discussion, the market was down like 400 points and accelerating. When the market is down 10, 11, 12%, at least I know I am buying on a pullback. I don't know how much lower it will go, and you're never going to catch it at the exact bottom.
And the problem
I do know it will come back eventually.
But the problem is if the market goes down, and this was my argument, was if the market
give him a win. You're right.
Who, Lena said that?
Yes.
If the market goes down 20% for the next month from here, 20 more percent to the down, then people say,
but what are the realistic odds of that happening?
That can happen. Absolutely can happen.
In a typical market pullback, a little fit, I don't think it's ever happened in our history. I don't know this for a fact. I'll have to look it up. Where it just randomly goes down 30% for like a month and then comes right back. It would go down 30% in a recession, but we're not in a recession. The economy did not change overnight. So this is where you have to define your risk too, is because are you scared there's a recession right now? Are you thinking there might be a recession because of what the market is doing? Or if you're aware that the market is just throwing a fit, do you feel more comfortable?
No, my argument though, to combat that was 2011 through 2014 and 15, the economy was awful. Our debt went, over the last 10 years, the country's debt went from 9 to 19 trillion. So the economy was awful. Unemployment was awful, but the market kept pushing higher. So it doesn't necessarily... Markets are irrational, and what we experienced this week is irrational.
It is irrational.
And I would rather take a defensive position, and we do.
But I like the buying the puts, though, rather than going to cash and then being wrong, because if you go to cash, then you have to be right again. I wasn't suggesting
we go to cash 100%. I was suggesting like 30%. A 30% cash position.
Yes. So we have some people that are just joining. So we're talking about, I guess we're getting around to the market, but we're talking about risk too. How do you assess risk? And if you go to our website, at the bottom of the front page, there's a risk assessment. And if you like this video or you know of somebody that might like this video, please share and get this word out there, because I think this is a super important topic that, especially in this time right now, where we're having the worst week in 9-10 years, that we get this word out and we get this education out, that you can assess your own risk and there's strategies that you can do to mitigate your risk. So this is definitely some important information that people need to know. So please share this video if you know of anybody that would like it, or if you like the video yourself.
All right, how can they get a hold of us? I think we're done. Let's wrap it up. Oh, definitely.
Oh my gosh, we've already been talking for 20 minutes. Time flies when we're talking on here. You said a lot too.
When I could, yeah, I try.
NovaWealthManagement.com. Our podcast is the Nova Wealth Show. You can look that up on iTunes. Like us on Facebook, share our video, follow us on Twitter at Nova Wealth Management MGMT, and I think that's it.
And hopefully
next week the market goes up.
Yeah, hopefully
right.
We'll just be on Friday. If the market does anything crazy, we'll do another one during the week.
On what we're doing. We'll keep you updated on what we're doing. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Have a good weekend.